Just real quick, are we waiting on Commissioner Smith at this point for quorum? Let me know when Commissioner Smith arrives and we'll go ahead and get everything started.
Andy, go ahead and test.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Okay, we're just waiting for Jared.
Perfect.
And he's coming on Zoom, so as soon as he logs in.
Okay, yeah, as soon as I see him in there and he indicates he's online, then we will get started tonight.
Okay, thank you. either going to call in or he will try the Zoom link one more time. So just a few more minutes, please.
Okay, sounds good.
Hello, can you hear me?
Jared, I can hear you in chambers.
Yep, I can hear you
Awesome.
online as well.
Thank you. Sorry about that. I had to reinstall Zoom. I don't know why it wasn't letting me join, but thanks for your patience.
All right. We have our quorum, so good evening. Welcome to the Planning and Zoning Commission meeting for September 21st, 2023. At this time, I'd like to call the meeting to order. Commissioners who are present for this meeting are at City Hall and on Zoom. We also have staff from the City Attorney and Clerk's offices, as well as the City Planning Department. If you're joining us on Zoom this evening, we can see that you're here. You may observe the meeting. However, your ability to be seen on screen and talk will be muted. During the public testimony portion of the meeting, you will be unmuted and be able to comment. Please note that we cannot take questions until the public testimony portion. If you have a process question during the meeting, please email cityclerk@meridiancity.org and they will reply as quickly as possible. With that, let's begin with roll call. Mr. Clerk?
Right there.
Sorry, Mr. Chair, we were having some feedback issues, I think. Commissioner Grace?
Nope.
Here. Commissioner Smith?
Here.
Commissioner Lorcher?
Here.
Commissioner Steele?
Here. First item on the agenda is the adoption of the agenda. There's no amendments. So can I get a motion to adopt the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to adopt the agenda. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is the consent agenda, and we have two items on the consent agenda. The first is approve the minutes of the September 7th, 2023 Planning and Zoning Commission meeting. Second is the findings of facts and conclusions of law for Eagle Road Extended Stay Hotel, file number H2023-0040. Can I get a motion to accept the consent agenda as presented?
So moved.
Move. Oh, second.
Been moved and seconded to adopt the consent agenda. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed, nay. Motion carries. This time, I'd like to briefly explain the public hearing process. We will open each item individually and begin with the staff report. Staff will report their findings on how the item adheres to our comprehensive plan and unified development code. After staff has made their presentation, the applicant will come forward to present their case and respond to staff comments. They will have 15 minutes to do so. After the applicant is finished, we will open the floor to public testimony. Each person will be called on only once during the public testimony. Clerk will call names individually of those who have signed up in advance to testify. Please state your name and address for the record, and you will have 3 minutes to address the commission. If you have previously sent pictures or presentation for the meeting, it will be displayed on the screen and you will run the presentation with the assistance from the clerk if needed. If you have established that you are speaking on behalf of a larger group like an HOA, where others from that group will allow you to speak on their behalf. You will have up to 10 minutes. After all those who have signed up in advance have spoken, we will invite any others who may wish to testify. When you're finished, if the commission does not have questions for you, you will return to your seat in chambers or be muted on Zoom, and you will no longer have the ability to speak. And please remember, we generally do not call people back up. After all testimony has been heard, the applicant will be given another 10 minutes to come back and respond. When the applicant has finished responding to questions and concerns, we will close the public hearing, and the commissioners will have the opportunity to discuss and hopefully be able to make decisions or recommendations to City Council as needed. This time, I'd like to open the public hearing for item number H 2023-0039 for PET C rezone. And we will begin with staff report. Possibly.
Yes. Good evening, Chair and Commission members. I'm Linda Ritter, Associate Planner. So the first item tonight is the PESH rezone. So this is a site that consists of 0.60 acres of land, zone CC, and it's located at 1508 North Meridian Road. So the request is for a rezone to facilitate the renovation of the existing detached garage while retaining the property's current residential use. The rezoning to Old Town would apply to the applicant, would allow the applicant to submit building permit applications for the construction of a new building and making structural modifications to the existing building without obtaining a conditional use permit for each proposed improvement to the site. A single-family detached dwelling unit is considered a non-conforming use in the CC zone under district per UDC table 11-2B-2. The applicant intends to retain the existing home while renovating the old detached garage situated behind the home. The applicant also has future plans to potentially construct the accessory dwelling unit or a live-work structure at a later date. Access is provided via North Meridian Road. This driveway doesn't currently adhere to ACHD district's guideline for successive driveways in terms of alignment or offset, as it falls short of the minimum of 330 feet separation from any existing or proposed driveway and is not located a minimum of 355 feet away from the nearest intersection. Since the applicant is not intensifying or changing the use of the property, staff and ACHD are supportive of the driveway configuration remaining for the residential use. And since the property abuts several underdeveloped properties and there is potential for further expansion on the property, staff believes cross-access is warranted. But identifying which properties and the exact location of the shared driveways will be determined when actual development is proposed for the property. This may include closing one or both driveways. Staff recommends that in the event the properties intensify or redevelops in the future, the applicant should provide cross-access to the neighboring properties located to the south and north and east to eliminate the need for multiple accesses off the arterial roadway within close proximity in accordance with UDC 11-3A-3. So currently there is sufficient parking. The current home has a 20 by 20 parking pad and a 2-car garage. So therefore parking provided on site meets the minimum requirement. There is an existing 7-foot wide attached sidewalk on Meridian Road along the existing property frontage that is consistent with ACHC's policy for arterial roads. With the exception of dedicated right-of-way, therefore additional right-of-way dedication totaling 96 feet on Meridian Road abutting the site should be required as part of the future application. So based on ACHD's recommendation of approval, staff recommends that the applicant provides a permanent right-of-way easement to 2 feet behind the back of the sidewalk for any sidewalk placed outside of the dedicated right-of-way. A landscape buffer is not required for single-family dwelling units in the Old Town zoning district. However, the existing house is currently set back approximately 30 feet from Meridian Road, leaving several areas in front of the residence that could be landscaped to enhance the street along Meridian Road. The staff believes the street frontage should be landscaped with a mix of trees, shrubs, lawn, hardscape, and or water conserving design in accordance with UDC 11.3B7C. A design review application is not required for single-family dwellings. However, when the property redevelops to commercial use in the future, a design review application will be required for the proposed building elevations. Therefore, staff recommends approval of the proposed rezone from CC to OT per the findings in the staff report with the inclusion of a development agreement. And at this time, I will stand for any questions that the commission may have.
Thank you very much. Will the applicant please come forward? Good evening. Just need your name and address for the record, sir.
Dave Pecci. The address of the house,
Oh, can you speak into the microphone, sir?
1508 North Meridian Road.
Thank you. That's the formality. And I know we just heard it. Do you have any comments that you'd like to make or any statements or anything about the application?
Didn't quite understand the 2 feet section on the, by the sidewalk. Is that just for utility work?
Linda, if you want to address that.
That's a requirement that the highway district requires.
So, but if there's plants and stuff there, that doesn't matter, right?
That is fine.
Is that we're out?
It's just an easement.
The cross section driving in and out, is that just basically so you can have a car coming out and one that can pull in at the same time?
Cross section means that it's an alternative way for traffic to travel without coming in off of Meridian Road.
Oh, it's so they need to come in on Meridian Road and they could go out on another road, or?
It's coming through the property. So if your property turns into commercial property, it's cross access for the adjoining properties.
Yeah,
So
like one to the north of us.
to the north or south,
Yeah, there's nothing built on the property.
if they develop, when they develop.
So that they would have to grant access there.
So you will have an easement for cross access to cross your property if you turn it into a commercial development.
Sure.
That will allow the properties that develop that are adjacent to you to have access across your property.
I think that can happen. If I have any other questions. Just want to do, repair that or fix the shed thing in the back and clean that up for now and then down the road. Build something maybe down the road.
Okay. Commissioners, do we have any questions for the applicant?
Mr. Chairman, I have one.
Mhm.
This is Commissioner Grace. So Dave, I'm just looking at a picture that perhaps you can or can't see, but it's just an overhead shot. I'm trying to find this detached structure and
You can't find it?
is it just very close to the,
That's it right there where you're pointing. That's the front of it. So it's all open on that side. And then it's
Okay.
got 3 walls, in the back, and the 2 sides are cinder block walls. And and the roof's totally rotten. It leaks, rains right through it.
okay,
Wanna Clean that all up and close that in so it's not open just to everybody to look at.
okay. I was thinking that was it, but I wasn't, so thank you.
Mr. Chair,
Mr. Lark, go ahead.
are you comfortable with the landscaping?
Yeah,
Requests
we'll
that
do
the city
whatever
has?
we have to do to, I think that's a great idea. I think it'll look better. I just didn't do anything because I didn't know what to do.
Right. Okay, that's all the questions I have.
Okay, Chris, do we have anybody signed up to testify? Is
Mr. Chair, no one signed up in advance.
anybody in chambers raising their hand or anybody online?
Nobody online,
None.
nobody in chambers raising their hand.
All right, sir, if there's nothing further to add, we'll go ahead and have you take a seat. And with that, I'll take a motion to close the public hearing for file number H 2023-0039 Pet 3 zone.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to close the public hearing for file number H 2023-0039. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed, nay. Motion carries. This one to me seems pretty straightforward, so I completely understand what the applicant's trying to do. So I do appreciate staff putting in some verbiage in there about intensification of the property in the future and what that may mean, so that it's on record. That's always, the concern is that we're in one of these areas where we definitely don't want to inhibit, a property owner from doing what they need to do on their property to, especially if they want to do repair. But at the same time, if the use of that property intensifies, then we have to readdress that. So I do appreciate that from the staff. But other than that, I have no issues with the application. Any other comments? Yes, I'll always take a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I'd be happy to make a motion.
Please feel free.
Excuse me. After considering all staff, applicant, and public testimony, I move to recommend approval to the city council file number H-2023-0039 is presented in the staff report for the hearing date of September 21st, 2023 with no modifications.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve file number H 2023-0039 with no modifications. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed, nay. Motion passes. Thank you very much. All right. And with that, I would like to open the public hearing for item number H 2023-0044 for the Alpine Bar, and we will begin with the staff report.
Thank you, Commissioner. This one, the next item is for a conditional use permit for the Alpine Bar. The site consists of 0.11 acres of land zoned OT, and it's located at 130 East Idaho Avenue. So it's a request for a drinking establishment within an existing 3,200 square foot building. The proposed drinking establishment will include an outdoor rear patio, and a front patio along East Idaho to be approved with a separate certificate of zoning compliance, design review, and use zone encroachment application to occupy a portion of the sidewalk within the city core area per UDC 8-1-1. The conditional use is a process to ensure any impacts associated with a particular use are mitigated. Based on the location presently, the proposed use is prohibited within 300 feet of the property use for a church or any other place of worship or any public or private education institute. The proposed drinking establishment is located approximately 140 feet from an existing church on the corner of Northeast 2nd Street and East Idaho Avenue. The city is currently processing a code change to allow a drinking establishment to operate within 300 feet of a church. The future patio area and also the future patio areas will be required to be fenced. And as for that code amendment, it has been approved by City Council. We're going through the ordinance process now. The proposed change of use will require 13 parking spaces in the OT zoning district. Currently, there are only 7 parking spaces to serve this site with 4 front in the building and 3 employee stalls in the rear. Because the property is situated downtown within the Old Town District, there is shortage of on-street parking available. To address this concern, the applicant must include an alternative compliance application with the future certificate of zoning compliance application submittal due to the parking requirements specified in specific use standards for drinking establishments. Additionally, the applicant shall obtain a written recommendation on the parking compliance method proposed from the Meridian Development Corporation Board. This recommendation from the Meridian Development Corporation Board shall accompany the alternative compliance and certificate of zoning compliance application. And I just wanted to point out that the city owns a public parking lot behind 830 Commons in the area that is outlined in red to help accommodate those who visit the Old Town area. So this parking lot is across the alley from the Alpine Bar. And again, this is an existing commercial building on the site. This is just showing the elevation of the existing building. This is a floor plan from when it was Rick's press room. So with this, staff recommends approval of the proposed conditional use permit with the conditions and findings included in the staff report. So at this time, I will take any questions that the commission has.
Thank you very much. Will the applicant please come forward? Good evening, sir. Please state your name and address for the record.
It's Todd Asen, and it's 130 East Idaho Avenue.
Thank you very much. Is there anything that you would like to let us know about this application, questions or concerns?
Nothing as of right now. I mean, I did call prior to taking this space over because I had heard about what had happened with the 127 and was told I could do a bar. They didn't have any restaurant equipment, nothing in there. Everything was gutted. It's actually quite a bit different from what's on there. It's split into 2. They did that a long time ago, but I put a lot of money, time, and effort into it. Yeah.
Okay. Commissioners, do you have any questions for the applicant or staff?
Mr. Chair, I have one question.
Go ahead, Commissioner
So-
Lorcher.
So the kitchen was already gone by the time you took over the space?
Yes, everything was gone.
Oh, okay. So you suggested maybe a backyard patio?
I would like, when I applied for everything, I had just put that on there as they just kind of said, what do you know, what's it gonna look like and things like that. And I put these patios front and back. I haven't applied for them because I was told I couldn't apply for anything until this was taken
Oh,
care
okay.
of. So I still have to do all that. I would like a front patio, a small front patio, and a little bit larger back patio. I think I could still do it while maintaining the parking spaces for staff. So I don't, and trash enclosure. But still like done.
Okay.
So as of right now, I do not have those.
Okay, one step at a time, right? All right, thank you.
Mr.
Commissioner
Chairman,
Grace, go ahead.
thanks. So there's no kitchen. Is it your intention or plan to serve any food then, or? Okay. And then it seems unlikely, given this progression of the city council's approval and whatnot, but if for some reason the ordinance doesn't pass with regard to the proximity of a drinking establishment to a church, are you okay with the conditions put on?
I don't even know how I would do it. What I would do, be honest, as far as having to make it a restaurant.
Well, I'm just reading what it states here, that if it isn't approved, that the applicant should operate in accordance with an arts, entertainment, and recreational facility. I'm just asking, it does seem remote that won't happen, but
I'd have to look it over. I'm sorry. I just,
Commissioner Grace, I thought that it has been approved. They're just finalizing the paperwork.
Oh,
Meridian
is that-
City
is that
Council
the- Is that
approved
the
it.
state of it?
Yes, so
Okay.
you're good.
Okay.
It's been approved.
Okay. My apologies. I guess I misinterpreted that to mean it was less complete than it was. So no need to get you maybe unduly excited. I apologize for that.
I think the only thing they don't know is that how soon the paperwork's going to go through. Like, is it next week, next month, 3 months from now?
Ah, okay.
That's- So if he's going to have a backyard patio, you have to wait until the ordinance
Have
is
to
on the
wait till
books, and
everything.
that hasn't happened yet. That's how I read it.
Yeah, no, and
All right, they're not.
it was approved by city council. So
Yes.
that
I was told I could get my paperwork in. I've been a little bit slower lately on getting paperwork done, but I was told I could get it in, but it would just sit basically until this was finished, then kind of move forward.
okay.
You're still good for the CUP, so
Yeah.
conditional use. permit.
I didn't mean to get your blood pressure going.
Hello.
Sorry about that. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
All right, thank you very much. Anything else from the commissioners? Mr. Clerk, do we have anybody signed up to testify online?
Mr. Chair, nobody signed up and nobody is online.
Is there anybody else in chambers? Empty house tonight? All right, thank you very much, sir. Appreciate your application, and you can take a seat. And with that, I will take a motion to close the public hearing for file number H2023-0044, the Alpine Bar.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to close the public hearing for file number H2023-0044. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? All right, public hearing is closed. Comments from the commissioners?
Mr. Chair,
Commissioner Lorcher, go ahead.
this property has been designated as a, whether it's food or adult beverage place for many, many years. I think it's nice to be able to see a new established go in because it increases the want to come down to Old Town Meridian, which would also attract other businesses to come as well. So with the 127 being open again, there's a new plant bar, there's the vault. We've got 380 Commons, Deja Brew, the hops, what I always call it the basement. I don't know what it's called. But anyway, it's a nice little corridor to be able to have something else in between.
Anything else from the other commissioners? Or a motion? It's always welcome.
I'm happy to make it.
Commissioner Grace, feel free.
The right one. Okay, after considering all staff applicant and public testimony, I move to approve file number H-2023-0044 as presented in the staff report for the hearing date of September 21st, 2023 with no modifications.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve file number H-2023-0044, the Alpine Bar. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mr.
And
Chair,
if there's, oh, Commissioner Lorcher, go right ahead.
I move that we adjourn.
Second.
Been moved and seconded that we adjourned. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. We are adjourned. Thanks, everyone. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Commissioners, can you stay online just for a moment?
Yes, we can. I can.
Two quick orders of business. October 5th, we can cancel that. There are no hearings scheduled, and since nothing was continued from that tonight, just letting you know, we'll cancel that. We do want to, in talking to Mr. Parsons earlier, set a special meeting for the purpose of approving the findings and the minutes from tonight, so that the applicant doesn't have to wait a month for those findings. So I'll reach out to you by email and the other commissioners who weren't here to see if we can set a time. We can do that via Zoom. It can be a lunch hour thing even. I'll just kind of do a survey of when at least 4 people can be available for that. And of course, after Stacy's back and able to prepare the findings. So probably sometime that first week of October. But I'll just kind of send a survey out and try to get a time so that we can get this project, moving forward.
Okay, that sounds good.
That's all I had. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, everyone. Appreciate it.